Have you ever noticed how some girls can walk into a room and instantly make you look at them? They don't have to be the loudest, they don't have to prove they're the prettiest, and they definitely don't need everyone to like them. They just have this energy, this presence, this feeling that says, I know exactly who I am. And that's exactly why Maddy Perez from Euphoria is such an interesting character. Because whether you love her, hate her, or think she's completely chaotic, there's one thing you can't deny. Maddy is confident. But here's the thing. Maddy's confidence isn't just about her appearance. It's about psychology, the way she carries herself, the way she sees herself, the way she refuses to shrink herself just because someone else feels uncomfortable with her presence. And if you understand the psychology behind Maddy Perez's confidence, you can actually learn how to develop a healthier version of that same energy in your own life. So let's break down exactly what makes Maddy so confident. And trust me, the last one is probably the most important. One of the most noticeable things about Maddy is that she doesn't spend her life asking, is it okay if I act like this? Is it okay if I wear this? Do you think I'm too much? She simply exists as herself. And psychologically, that's powerful. Because confidence starts when you stop making other people's opinions the foundation of your identity. Think about it. If your confidence depends on everyone approving of you, then your confidence is never really yours. One person compliments you and you feel amazing. Someone else criticizes you and suddenly you're questioning everything about yourself. Maddy doesn't operate like that. She has a very strong internal image of who she believes she is, and that's why she can walk into a room with so much presence. Now, this doesn't mean you should ignore every opinion or refuse to grow. It means you shouldn't let every opinion rewrite your identity. You can listen to people without allowing them to define you. Because the moment you stop needing permission to be yourself, you become much harder to shake. Let's be honest. Maddy knows how to present herself. Her makeup, her outfits, her hair, her nails, everything about her appearance feels intentional. And while confidence definitely doesn't come from looking perfect, there is a psychological reason why taking care of your appearance can affect the way you feel. When you put effort into how you present yourself, you're sending a message to yourself. I matter. You're telling your brain that you're worth the time and attention. And that's why your appearance can influence your confidence. But here's where we need to separate Maddy's mindset from the unrealistic parts of her character. The goal isn't to look perfect every single day. The goal is to develop your own signature. Find the clothes you feel powerful in. Find the hairstyle that feels like you. Create a routine that makes you feel put together. Because when you feel comfortable in your own skin, you naturally carry yourself differently. Your posture changes. Your body language changes. Even the way you speak changes. And suddenly, confidence doesn't feel like something you're pretending to have. It becomes something you can actually feel. This is one of the biggest reasons Maddy has such a strong presence. She doesn't constantly try to convince people that she's important. She assumes her own importance. And there's a huge psychological difference between the two. When you constantly chase validation, you're basically saying, tell me I'm enough. But when you have internal confidence, your mindset becomes, I already know I'm enough. That's the energy Maddy often gives off. And this is something you can practice in your own life. Stop explaining yourself to people who have already decided to misunderstand you. Stop constantly checking whether everyone likes you. Stop changing your personality every time you enter a new room. You don't need to be everyone's favorite person. You just need to be comfortable being your own person. Because the more you chase approval, the more power you give other people. And the less you need approval, the more powerful you become. One of the most psychologically interesting things about Maddy is how strongly she identifies with her own personality. She knows what she likes, she knows how she wants to look, she knows how she wants to be perceived, and she has a very clear sense of identity. This is important because confidence becomes much easier when you actually know yourself. Ask yourself, what do I like? What are my values? What kind of person do I want to become? What makes me feel like myself? What am I doing just because everyone else is doing it? Because if you don't know who you are, you'll constantly become whoever you're surrounded by. You'll copy people's personalities, you'll change your opinions, you'll dress differently depending on who's watching. But when you know yourself, you become grounded. You don't need to reinvent yourself every week. You can evolve without losing yourself. And that kind of self-awareness creates a quiet confidence that no compliment can give you and no criticism can easily take away. So, if we take away the drama, the chaos, and the fictional world of Euphoria, what can we actually learn from Maddy? The answer is simple. Confidence isn't about becoming the most beautiful girl in the room. It's not about getting everyone to like you. And it's not about acting like you don't care about anything. Confidence is knowing who you are, taking care of yourself, having standards, setting boundaries, speaking with certainty, and most importantly, not abandoning yourself just to be accepted by other people. That's the real psychology behind Maddy's confidence. She walks through life like she belongs there, and you can develop that energy too. Not by pretending to be Maddy, not by copying her personality, but by becoming so comfortable with yourself that you no longer need to constantly prove your worth. So the next time you walk into a room, remember this. You don't need to be the prettiest. You don't need to be the loudest. You don't need everyone to notice you. Just walk in knowing that you belong there. Because confidence isn't about convincing everyone else that you're that girl. It's about finally believing it yourself. And once you genuinely believe that, you won't need to chase attention. You won't need to beg for validation. You won't need to compete. You'll simply carry yourself differently, and people will feel it. Because the most powerful kind of confidence isn't the one that screams, "Look at me." It's the one that quietly says, "I know who I am."